Hello and welcome. You're watching AD4 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Adirayo Senami. The Supreme Court today nullified the judgment which convicted the former governor of Abia State, Nigeria, Orji Uzor Kalu. Justice Muhammad Idris of the Federal High Court in Lagos has sentenced Senator Kalu to 12 years imprisonment in his judgment delivered on the 24th of April 2019. The Apex Court, in a unanimous decision by a 7-man panel of justices led by Justice Amina Ogi, held that the Federal High Court in Lagos acted without jurisdiction when it convicted Kalu, his firm, Slock Nigeria Limited, and former Director of Finance in Abia State, Jones Udogu. Consequently, the Apex Court vacated the judgment that convicted the defendants and ordered a fresh trial of the defendants. Meanwhile, the United States Embassy in Nigeria has announced another $319 million, amounting to about 121 billion naira, looted by former Nigerian military dictator Sani Abacha. The money was found in the United Kingdom and France. This comes about a week after Nigeria got $311 million Abacha loot from the US and the Bail Week of Jersey. The embassy, in a statement, said the funds returned last week are distinct and separate from an additional $167 million in stolen assets also forfeited in the UK and France, as well as $172 million still in active litigation in the United Kingdom. It added that the United States will continue to help combat corruption and ensure a successful outcome in the return of the funds. And some good news from Kano. The Kano State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Aminu Zanyawa, and 15 others have been discharged from isolation after testing negative for coronavirus. Professor Abdulrazak Habib of the Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, who earlier contracted the virus, has also tested negative. According to the Kano State Commissioner for Information, Malam Muhammad Garba, this brings the total number of discharged patients in Kano State, Nigeria, to 22. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has issued an advisory on the use of cloth face masks. The Disease Control Agency, in a tweet via its official handle, said on Wednesday that physical distancing remains vital in protecting oneself from COVID-19. The agency added that a face mask alone is not a form of protection because the virus is primarily spread through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. In another development, the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, in a letter to the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Sabo Nanono, has approved the immediate dissolution of the interim management team of the Bank of Agriculture and appointed Alwan Hassan as acting managing director of the bank. The new acting managing director, Alwan Hassan, holds a master's degree in business administration and has served on the management board of Orient Bank, Uganda, the Bank PHB in the Gambia, and Platinum Capital and Trust Limited, Nigeria. We'll take a short break now. When we return, United Nations Secretary General says COVID-19 is causing hate and xenophobia. Stay with us, details coming shortly.
One of the things I've changed in my life to guarantee the health of those around me is practicing social distancing. This means if I'm in the same area with other people, I'm learning how to keep my distance between them by at least 1 meter. If you're wondering what 1 meter is, it's actually 3 steps, or the length of a broomstick. I've also reduced my movements by staying at home and only going out when absolutely necessary. I'm making the most of the situation by remaining connected with my loved ones, staying in shape, and discovering a new hobby. Reducing my movements gives me a better chance of keeping others safe and for them to keep me safe. My name is Dakori Egusi-Nakonde. Let's do our best to be safe for you, for others, and for your family.
This message is brought to you by the United Nations in conjunction with the Federal Government of Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Health, and the NCDC. Take responsibility. Stay safe.
Welcome back. You're watching AD4 TV Radio News Update. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says the coronavirus pandemic is unleashing a tsunami of hate and xenophobia. Guterres, in a message on Twitter, called on people to stand up against hate and put in efforts to end hate speech globally. He called on the media, especially social media, to remove racist, misogynist and other harmful content, and civil society to strengthen their outreach to vulnerable people and non-religious figures to serve as models of mutual respect. In another development, Senegal's Supreme Court this Thursday upheld a ban on repatriating the bodies of citizens living abroad who've died of coronavirus, rejecting a plea from their relatives. A group of families with dead relatives abroad had sought to overturn the ban on the grounds that it violates their right to mourn and practice their religion in the Muslim-majority West African country. Leaders across Europe are marking the 75th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day in commemoration of the 8th of May 1945, when Britain and its allies formally accepted Nazi Germany's unconditional surrender after almost 6 years of war. A 2-minute silence to honor the war dead will be held in the United Kingdom, followed by an address from the Queen. Closed ceremonies are also being held by the leaders of France and Germany, Emmanuel Macron and Angela Merkel. However, large gatherings still remain forbidden. 15 migrant laborers in India were run over and killed by a train this Friday as they tried to make their way home during the nationwide coronavirus lockdown. Arun Kumar, the Director General of India's Railway Protection Force, said the victims had been sleeping on the tracks before they were run over by a train carrying goods shortly after 5 a.m. It added that 4 of the victims survived, while 2 are in critical condition. A 79-year-old disabled woman in northwestern China's Shaanxi province has been rescued alive after 3 days in a grave. China police arrested a 58-year-old man known as Ma for allegedly burying his 79-year-old disabled mother. Investigation is currently ongoing. Meanwhile, Ma has been charged with attempted murder. And now in sports, South Korean football has led the way in sports by resuming the K-League this Friday, reaching international TV audiences with no crowds or wild goal celebrations at the stadium. With most leagues sidelined worldwide by the pandemic, the K-League is the first competition of any standing to resume sporting activities, with teams under orders to stick to stringent safety guidelines. Still in sports, New York bar owner and retired boxer Jimmy Glenn is dead. The former boxing trainer and Times Square bar owner died this Thursday after fighting the novel coronavirus for weeks. Glenn died at the age of 89. He was hospitalized at the New York University Langone Medical Center in April after suffering COVID-19 related symptoms and tested positive shortly after being admitted. And that's it on AD4 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. You can join the conversation on our website at www.ad4tvradio.com. Please follow us on our social media platforms at AD4 TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at AD4 TV Radio. Many thanks for watching. I am Adirayo Senami.